Welcome back. In this session, we are going to look what is the importance of documentation and what is the need of documentation, which is vital for a relation between a person and the customer. Purpose of documentation. Now, documentation is one of the vital areas in the credit portfolio of a bank. Now, what is the purpose of documentation? Is basically to fix the terms and conditions between the banker and the borrower. Secondly, to identify the borrowers. Thirdly, to identify the securities. Next is to count the period of limitation and to resort to legal remedies in case of need. So, the terms and conditions, identification of borrowers and securities, and besides that, the legal remedies also need to be covered. While collecting documents for a credit facility, the provisions of various acts are considered. Basically, the Indian Contract Act, Partnership Act, Companies Act, Indian Registration Act, Limitation Act, Indian Stamp Act to be kept in mind. Understand the reasoning behind it. Of course, when we talk about the relationship between a banker and a borrower, it's a contract binding on both the parties. Similarly, the registration of the documents and what is the limitation for us to raise any of the recovery process, and the documents needs to be adequately stamped. So from all these angles, these acts to be covered in a proper way. So document is unless adequately stamped as per the applicable rates in the state, it will not be enforceable in the court of law. So that's of a paramount importance. Also, the documents which are chargeable with duty and executed outside India may be stamped within a period of 3 months after they first arrived or received in India within 3 months. Non-compliance of any of the provisions of any of the enactments may affect the validity of the documents, and that could be detrimental to us as a banker. For example, if a loan is given to a minor other than for his necessities, the documents executed may not be enforceable in court of law. As you understand that as per the Contract Act, any agreement with minor is void ab initio, that is, from the inception it is not valid. So the care has to be taken as per the Indian Contract Act has to be kept in mind while dealing with these requirements. Let's check what we learned with a question. Documents which are chargeable with duty and executed outside India may be stamped within what period after they first received in India? The choices are within 3 years, within the period of information, within 3 months, before submitting the documents in court of law. The answer is within 3 months. That is, within 3 months the documents need to be stamped. Another question. The purpose of documentation is what? What is the purpose of documentation? To fix terms and conditions between the bankers and borrowers, to identify borrowers, to add revenue for state and central government, or only A and B? The answer is D. That is, first is to fix the terms and conditions between the banker and the borrower, and secondly to identify the borrowers. Our next session will cover securitization.